If you folks don't mind, I want to share something with you really quick. And one of the things I've always thought about and I couldn't understand is that if you are someone who are displaced, someone who is houseless, I don't use the word homeless because a home can be anywhere. But if you fit the description of what I've just stated, I don't understand why investing in a backpack, having the necessary tent, and the items that you hear today called bug out bags, inch bags, rucksacks, whatever it may be, I would literally come out here in places that are in the country, in the woods. And this is why it's set up. That's a huge, wow, hold on. I like coming up in here because, man, that was a huge hawk. Hope I get another look at him. Let me make sure. Okay, that was a huge hawk. But anyways, my point I'm trying to make is that coming out here, you could camp. Now, a lot of people may state, well, isn't that private land? Well, of course. Sometimes it's just land that is made to preserve. You can see someone was out here. Land that was made to preserve much of what you see. Maybe it's protected because of the birds and so forth and all the other wildlife. But I've come over here and seen deer out here, lots of turkey and lots of deer crossing this area. You have a lot of eucalyptus trees over here. And on the other side of this tree over here, these eucalyptus trees, man, I'll tell you something right now. It is a wonderful sight over on that side. But my point I'm trying to make is that you don't have to stay out here. You can move from location to location to location when you move strategically, and you don't have to worry about being up next to a business or the police being called on you because you're sleeping here every day or it's filthy. The bottom line is just like we do when we go camping. We're told to keep the area as clean as it was when you leave. So if you see trash at a campsite, then don't sit back and say, that's someone else's trash. I'm not cleaning up after them. No, clean it up. Take it with you and dump it. Okay? Because not everybody is going to be respectful of the land. I wanted to bring you over this way because over this way is where I've done camping. I've set up. Now, may I remind you, that's a road right there. Okay? That's a road. But it doesn't get as busy as you think, especially on the week ends. But I want to show you a lot of flat area. See, these are all eucalyptus trees. They smell so good. I've harvested a lot of those leaves and taken them home and threw them inside my bath water and steamed them, and let that steam go throughout the house. But I'm going to show you folks a few places. And in the spring and summer, all of the green foliage is back on the trees. So look how flat all of this area is. It's flat. Everywhere is flat. Okay? And this is exactly where I would camp. I'm not going to show you the spots that I actually set up because I don't want someone figuring out, oh, you know what? We're going to, go over there and see what's going on. That's why I won't tell you what this road is. But the bottom line I'm trying to just express to you folks is that if you find yourself put in a position, assuming that you're an adult, assuming that you don't want someone coming up on your campsite, assuming maybe you don't have a lot of kids or kids at all, because Having kids with you can make things much more difficult. This is why I don't understand why people are still having babies today. I don't get that. I don't understand it. Okay, here's a beautiful flat spot. You got all of that hedge covering over there, which are blackberries and just bushes. You got a perfect area up in here. You got an area there. You got multiple areas around me. It goes all the way back. But you can set far enough off the way and make sure you set up some sort of camouflage tarp setups. That way it looks like nature. And right now it looks more woody because there's not a lot of green. So you can still do some green, but I would do a combination of browns and greens to sort of hide yourself up in here from anyone who's walking on the streets, biking on the streets, even the county workers. Now, one of the things I tend to do is when I came out here and camped several times is I make sure that I do it when the county workers are no longer around. So at 5 o'clock, their shift is over. Then you can come out here and set up camp. If you do it on the weekend, then you're good to go. You're good to go because the county workers are not working then. You don't have to worry about anything, anyone. And this is just one of a ton of places that I've located and been using for years. My message to all of you is I'm encouraging you all to think outside the box, to have more faith, and allow the Most High to test your faith. And don't be afraid of the outdoors. Get out. And you don't need a group of people to go camping. You don't need to create community organizations to go camping. You need to do this alone. Because if you can't do this alone, you're going to just fall into any sort of group. And not all group and community groups are made for everyone. Because everyone wants to be the leader. Everyone wants to feel as though they know everything. And you're going to get a lot of head bashing. So do yourselves a favor. Here's these eucalyptus leaves. Let me get these young, beautiful ones right here. Wow, look at that hawk. You hear him? Oh my gosh, it smells so wonderful. Oh, look. 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 Oh my goodness. These hawks are huge around here. But this eucalyptus, they smell so wonderful. And this is all the wood, which is a hardwood. I've cut off this one here. I've cut off that one there. And don't try to take an axe to it. It's just hard. Use your saw. And I'm talking about gas or a powerful electric saw. And you can saw that, and I've taken this wood home because, that way I can burn it. But I wasn't the only person. In fact, I didn't just come over here. I actually saw a couple of white dudes over here. They parked their trucks out right there on that road, right there in that open. And they came over here, you hear, and they just cutting all the wood off because they use it for fire. I seen Mexicans go way across to the field, way across there. That's over 30 miles of acres. And they go up in there and get all the wood that falls off of a tree. Okay, this wood is wet right now, but if you put it near some fire, it'll warm up real good. But yeah, I'm gonna come out here and get some more. Probably thinking about cutting part of this big boy off right here. And I'll cut it in sections because sometimes you'll get knots and you don't want to mess up your saw. Hopefully you folks know how to use a saw. But, ooh, there's one right there that's already pretty much on the ground. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Yeah, a lot of this wood is good. But one thing about these eucalyptus cedar trees, they produce all these smaller trees. And in the summertime, these things flourish. They flourish. They grow so big. Look at one right here. Here's a eucalyptus right here. See it? Small, but they come back. Look at this one. They end up being thick and they can keep growing. They're really amazing trees. But anywho, let me get out of here. I didn't want this to be long at all. And I went way over the amount of time I allotted myself for. I'm going to actually go out this road. But I wanted to just share with you folks, no, I can go through here, that you don't have to limit yourself. Okay? Plan and prepare what it is that you would like to do. A lot of people put together bug out bags and they put away food storage. They put away all these things, but no one planning to be houseless, or as most people call it, homeless. No one's planning to be houseless. And you need to plan to be houseless. You need to plan because that's what your bug out bag is for. Your bug out bag, well, a 72-hour kit is basically hold you over until you can get home. But if you're really about this, you wouldn't be going around building a bug out kit. Women have been having bug out bags since the inception of women. And most people don't even know that. Yeah, I said it. Women have had bug out bags for the longest, and we call them purses. All you got to do is look at modern day purses. Women have gone from Louis Vuitton to huge totes, carrying everything in there. So these are another form of bug out bags. An EDC don't have to be a huge bug out bag or a backpack. It can be any small sort of bag that carries essential items. So if you're going to prepare, forget the 72-hour bag. Plan to bug out much longer. A lot of people call them inch bag. I'm never coming home bag. Whatever you want to call them, that's up to you. But anywho, take care and y'all be well.